Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys Thor from the movie Thor Love and Thunder. Let's get started. So this is the Thor 6 scale figure by Hot Toys, based on the character Thor from the upcoming movie Thor Love and Thunder, and obviously based on the likeness of the actor Chris Hemsworth. There's two different versions, there's a regular and a deluxe. So the deluxe version is $345, the regular version is $315, and they're both pre-order products due for release sometime between October 2023 and March 2024. So yeah, I won't be pre-ordering this anytime soon. First of all, first impressions are great, and then I took a closer look, and the head sculpt needs a little bit of work, but I'm definitely not bashing it. It's not bad. It's pretty good. You know, it's Chris Hemsworth, but definitely think it needs a little bit of tweaking, maybe with the paint applications. There were people saying it's a reused sculpt. I'm not entirely sure. I have seen some comparisons to this in the Age of Ultron Thor, and I think was it not the Infinity War, maybe the Ragnarok Thor, I think, but I looked at the comparisons, they don't actually look the same. Anyway, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. First thing I want to do is just remind you, this is the deluxe version, $345, and these three accessories are the difference between the regular and the deluxe. So you have the swap out golden armor pieces. I think that's a nice touch. So you have the armored arms here. Obviously, in fairness, they've really got the muscle definition right. Chris Hemsworth is an absolute beast. He's a tank of a human being. He's a genetic freak, and he obviously puts the hours in the gym, and yeah, he's pretty jacked. So they've really got the definition in these seamless arms correct. This is what the Peacemaker should have been. They should have done this for Peacemaker. So I really like they've included seamless arms, but obviously the deluxe version you get the armored arms, and they're golden instead of silver like in past versions. You have the helmet with the light up electricity effects that I don't care for and I won't be using, and then you have a different sort of chest piece. I think the design is different here. Yeah, they got the silver bits here and there's none there. So yeah, so the design different. So you get three additional accessories for the extra $30. There's also an additional accessory here, which is obviously a spoiler they didn't want to include because, you know, they didn't want to ruin the film, kind of like in or didn't want to ruin a key part of the film, kind of like in Endgame when they announced Endgame Cap, but they had one of these additional accessory coming soon, kind of, I suppose, a placeholder picture, and it ended up being Mjolnir because, you know, that was one of the highlights of the movie, and, you know, we didn't want that spoiled for us. So it comes with his axe, the axe that was made by I think it's Eitri, and Groot. The handle is basically part of Groot's. I think it's an arm he cut off to help him out. You have the head sculpt, which I'll talk about later, the light up eyes. A base that I won't use, a bunch of swap out hands. We're getting 8 hands here. Hot Toys are really yo-yoing these days. Some of the releases, they started off with, like, you know, 10 swap out hands, and then it brought it down to like 8, and then it brought it down to 6, and a lot of the recent announcements only have 6 hands. It's like they're not giving you the left and the right. They're not giving you like the left open, the right open, the left fist, the right fist, the left trigger finger, the right trigger finger, or whatever. I know sometimes you don't always need those, you know, trigger fingers if the character doesn't have 2 guns or whatever, but they seem to be, there was a bit of shrinkflation going on, but now they're back up to 8 here, and I think in a previous release there they had 8 as well. So yeah, just something I've noticed. So then these aren't really accessories, just as part of the outfit, and then you have those, again, electrical accessories that I just won't use. If you like them, you know, each to their own, they're just enough for me. I think it really takes me out of it and kind of cheapens the look, and I don't really want them in my display. So we're going to take a look at some of these images. My first impressions is that, number one, full disclosure, I don't have a Thor in my collection. There really hasn't been any version of Thor so far that I felt I needed to have. But like, I'd like to have some representation of the big three. I have numerous Iron Mans, I have a Captain America Endgame, which I think is the best one to get, and I do want a Thor, and I think this could be the one to get. I think the armor is striking. I really like the blue and the gold. I think it really, really works. I think it's a stunning looking piece. It would look great in the shelf, and it would look great next to the mighty Thor if they actually go and produce a 1/6 scale Natalie Portman, which would benefit Star Wars fans as well, because if they've made the Natalie Portman head sculpt, maybe they'll tweak it and release a Padme. Watch this space. So my initial impressions of this were, yeah, I had entertained the thought of picking up the Thor. I think this might be the ultimate version. This is the one that I have basically liked so far. I mean, I have the Battle Damage Mark 85 and I have the Endgame cap, as I previously said. it would make sense to get the bro Thor version, the kind of, you know, the heavy Thor. But it just didn't. I liked him in the movie. I thought his, you know, comic timing was brilliant. I liked the actual look from that kind of Viking with the braid and the beard and everything like that. And I liked the way he was a bit weighty. I thought it was cool. And, you know, he was wielding Mjolnir and the axe as well. But I just really, I've seen reviews in the figures and it's just not for me. Now, but this posed next to a Mighty Thor, which I do think they're going to do. I think that would look stunning. So my initial impressions were good. Obviously, I'm not going to use the electrical effects, so, you know, I can take them or leave them. I'd rather, you know, pay a few dollars less and them not come to them. But, you know, other collectors love them, so, you know, I'm happy for them, people that really like these electric effects and use them, because, you know, it's not all the same. Just because I say I don't like them doesn't mean I'm right. It's completely subjective. It's art. The cape, the wired cape, nice touch. I think this is the first Thor to come with a wired cape. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section down below. Love the gold colour and the blue running through it. The axe is a right proportion because I believe it was undersized in previous releases, and third-party companies were making the true size axe. I think there was a company called Art by Art who did one. I could be wrong on that, because they definitely did a die cast Captain America shield from Endgame, and it looks pretty stunning. This looks great. The helmet is it's a really extravagant looking helmet. I'm loving the gold arms. I think, pardon, if I was to get this, I do think I'd display it with the gold arms. I'd probably actually display the head sculpt as well, because I do think the head sculpt is good. It's just not 100%. Like this is a piece, like, think about this. Gold, blue, and red. So like red and blue, they're primary colors, I believe. They're really going to pop on the shelf. And, you know, think about that. Gold, blue and red, that they're really gonna, like, your eye is going to be gravitated towards this particular piece if people walk into the room. That's something I would consider posing it like. No electrical effects, keep it really simple, straight up and down, kind of a character pose, just putting the hand, a nice touch putting the hand on the axe. I actually really like that. Yeah, so just a few more. I really like that they did the seamless arms on this. That's definitely a win. Even that pose, very simple pose, just crinkle up the cape a bit, look like it's blowing in the wind or something, have him holding the axe. You could do that with the golden arms and the helmet on as well. I mean, the sculpt, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I'd say I'm getting kind of like it's kind of like the way I felt about Moff Gideon. I think it was maybe about an 8. If they tweaked it a bit, it could have been really strong. But I wouldn't call it a bad sculpt. This, just think it needs a little bit of work, but from that angle there, that's, you know, that's Chris Hemsworth. But I'm just wondering, like, again, the thing I always say, a good sculpt to me is if you pop the head off and show it to someone who's not a big fan, but not, you know, a big Marvel fan or whatever, and say, who do you think that is? And they'll go, oh, that's your man who plays Thor or something, you know? So that, to me, I'm not sure if this head sculpt, would people do that? I might actually test that, pop off the head sculpt if I get it and kind of show it to random people. It's a bit creepy, but yeah, I think maybe would. I'm not sure. So I think the head sculpt it's good. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking, but these photos, yeah, some of these photos do it justice. Like, it's definitely grown on me. I think it's maybe there's something slightly off. I can't put my finger on it. You know, I really can't. Anyway, loving the gold arms there and that golden armor, the axe and everything. The chest plate, just beautifully designed, beautifully painted. I think it's a very strong release. Yeah, like there. I think this is the one, like, from the distance, Chris Hemsworth, every day of the week. But I mean, there's some head sculpts. Some people say, like, you know, you're never going to be looking up close and personal with your figures. Well, you do. Like, you do actually go and admire them. So I don't think it's enough that it's far and it looks well. I like when I'm holding it in my hand and it's close up. It's like, yeah, that's the character or the actor's likeness. So yeah, in conclusion, I do think I'm going to pick this one up. I'm not going to pre-order it. It's not going to come out for like 2 years. I just no. I'm going to wait, but I do think I'm going to pick this up. I would like to have a representation of Thor. If they release the Mighty Thor, Natalie Portman, I think the two of them posed together, that's just going to, like, I tend not to put more than one figure per shelf in a detail, but some figures, if you just get rid of the bases and pair the figures correctly in a simple character pose, I think they look really well. Like, for example, I picked up the Bubba Robot 2-pack yesterday, and they just look really nice and clean in the display. Very simple poses. That was the pose I wanted since day one when I ordered it. It looks really well in the display and really complement each other. So I think, like, this and the Mighty Thor together would look fantastic. So in conclusion, I'm probably going to pick this up when it comes out in about 2 years, if I'm still alive by then. Because, you know, the 2 years mightn't necessarily mean 2 years. It could be delayed and delayed and delayed, but hopefully not. They seem to be churning figures out recently, and they think they're doing really well. So yeah, I think this is a solid release. Maybe a bit of work needs to be done on the head sculpt, but you know, nice abundance of accessories there. The deluxe version I think is what I'll be going for, because I want those golden arms and the extra chest piece and everything. That's pretty much it. If you'd like to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know you're picking this up or not. If you're not, go follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. See you in the next one. Good luck.